Unleash the power and sculpt the shoulders of your dreams with our invigorating shoulder workout routine. Elevate your fitness journey as we target and tone every angle, bringing you one step closer to those defined, confident shoulders. Embrace the burn and let's soar to new heights together, because strong shoulders are the epitome of strength and determination.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing boulder shoulders. If you want shoulders the size of a boulder and you want 3D deltoids, then follow this, as well as, of course, we can't leave out the more important scientific, bothersome, annoying, boring stuff, which is actually extremely beneficial and important, which is range of motion, mobility, and just overall no pain in the shoulders, making sure that we're feeling just fine. So again, we want to make sure that we have range of motion. We want them to feel healthy and wealthy, nice and strong, and without any pain or clicking, with good, just ROM. You know what I'm saying? So what we're gonna do?
Join this journey today to better my shoulders.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say. I'm gonna introduce you guys to a different exercise. And this one's a bit fun. It's definitely different. Make sure that there's a lot of points to be made here. Is we're gonna do a side plank adductor bias, and so you need a bench or something elevated to make sure that you can like kind of wrap your legs around, basically, which you'll see here in just a second. And if it's more distal from the knee, which means further down, closer to the foot, the more pressure is going to be on the knee. So when you start, make sure your knee is ever so lightly on the edge of the bench there, or just nice and secure on the bench, because the idea is to plank while also not only targeting the core, you're going to target the adductors. And this is a really fun exercise, a different rendition for everything. We're going to do really short sets because I just started doing these again. I don't want to overdo it and pull something. So even though it's nothing crazy and intense, it is fun. So again, per usual, like for a regular plank, make sure that you're bracing your core, everything's nice and tight, but you also want to make sure that you're bracing with your leg, and you're going to feel the adductor of the leg that is up on the bench almost immediately, because it's not something that we are used to training, but it's a really fun way to mix it up. So making sure that you don't overdo anything, while at the same time making sure that you engage everything in the proper way. Overall, you just want to make sure that everything's nice and tight, that you don't put it too far close to your feet when you're setting up for it, because you don't want to crink on your knee, it might hurt. And you want to make sure that you keep everything tight like you'd be doing a side plank. So feel everything as you go through, and we're going to do one more set on each side. The shirt's collar is so flimsy, you keep flipping down. Hopefully that doesn't affect the audio too much. Also, where your other leg is will really dictate how hard or easy it is. If it's out here, that's difficult. If it's up here, it's so much easier. So just kind of feel out where you need to be. And of course, my hips aren't through. I just saw that up there. Make sure your hips are through. You want it to be a plank. You want to be solid, and you want your body in a straight line. So don't do what I just did. I didn't know I wasn't doing that until I looked up. So here we go. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some barbell shoulder press, military press, strict press. It really depends on where you're at and who you talk to on what this exercise is called. I like to call it big heavy metal stick press with front shoulders. I push things up to sky, which makes me go hoo hoo hoo. I like to pretend, as my wrestling coach Tim used to say, I like going unga bunga. So this unga bunga exercise allows me to feel extra strong. And if I do it right here, I shouldn't have to move very far. nicked the ceiling on that last one. Yeah, he always calls it unga bunga, so I like to pretend I'm a caveman who just got a kill. So I'm taking my spear and going like, yeah, I won. So it's an honor of my coach, who's doing just fine. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about wrestling, maybe I can collab with him in a video. Let me know if you want to see him and learn some wrestling stuff. I personally don't know much to anything except for what he taught me. And that's really fun. Of course, we will be doing collabs with my boxing coach, Kenton, and Brandon Ferris. Again, golf style stance. If you want to train together, I think it'd be really fun. I know you don't know me, but I really like your content. I think it'd be really fun. I think you're absolutely hilarious. I love that sense of humor, and I want to be able to do it with ya. We could even have Cam in there. I think it'd be really fun. I can, however you want to do it, I can even write a script. Enough about that and collabs. Per usual, when it comes to any sort of pressing movements, you want to make sure that the posterior chain is locked in tight. The posterior side of the shoulders are stabilizing and active. That way they prevent you from going out of certain planes of motion so you don't get hurt. Same principle, just slightly modified when I'm doing bench press to be able to bench. So we're gonna do a little bit of weight. We're not gonna do much weight today. We're just really gonna kind of get some volume in today. A little trick here, when you wanna find where your arms or your hands are gonna be above your elbows so you're not like way out here pressing and you're not way out here pressing, is I typically grab just right outside my shoulder height because I slightly angle out. I don't go straight out to the side, I slightly angle out. And so if I just go right outside my shoulders, it seems to be, like you can see how I'm grabbing just right outside both of my shoulders. That seems to always be absolutely the perfect position for me. Oh, I got it again. Usually, I have to step out and step to the side to be able to do it, so I don't get that. Clearly, as I was getting fatigued, I started drifting forward just a little bit more because I bumped that twice. So another thing is range of motion, and if you look really closely, some of my rips didn't go all the way down, some did. Now, this is a big debatable thing, it depends on who you ask. Is that some people say once you get down to that 90-degree angle right there, stop going down. All you're gonna do is put your rotator cuff at risk for injury. And there's some people who are like, well, if you don't train full range of motion, that's how you get injured. I lean more towards if you don't train in a full range of motion on a regular basis, that is how you get injured. So if I go to do something with my shoulders and I don't train to be powerful from down here, clearly I'm gonna get hurt if I try to do something from out the bottom. So I always train full range of motion, but I also do a lot of mobility work before my routines, and I do it all throughout the week. So the biggest thing here is making sure that you listen to your body, work within its limits, but learn where to push them. So if we're gonna a little bit more weight, we're gonna do it in the set. I know that I can shoulder press 135 for a few. Right now in my cut, I probably couldn't, but I do know from past experience, 135 was my working weight at one point. That actually started burning. That actually wore me out just a little bit. A little sooner than I thought it would, but again, being on a cut, which, excluding my metabolism, I know that I'm in a deficit from anywhere between 300 to 600 calories a day, and that changes depending on what I'm training. Today was a little bit of a weird morning, and so I'm gonna have to put most of my calories in tonight, where usually I put the majority of my calories before my weightlifting session, so I'm nice and fueled for that. If it's a hard day, I'll only go into deficit about 300 calories because I know the session's gonna burn roughly 200 more calories in that session than I would on a day like today, right? Like on a day like today, I don't need a whole lot before I come work out because I'm really just working shoulders, and I'm gonna do an accessory leg exercise after I get done with the shoulders. And shoulders are a lot smaller of a muscle group. If I'm going for squats, I need a lot more calories than, let's say, if I'm doing a wrist curl, you know? So, realistically, we're gonna go up one more time, and we're gonna break it up into 2 sets with a 10-second break in between, because I wanna get the volume at 115. This is gonna hit me in the head once I take that other plate off. I know it. I need to take this. Missed that setup. I hit it on the bolts right there. All right, so I recorded the second part to my last set with 115, and I only got forward and I had to do a little hop there. I don't know if you saw that in the last one. I was really back and I was really pressing it. All right, so, you know, I'm feeling just a little bit of fatigue, but I'm also feeling really good. I know that if I get close enough, you can see the pump filling into the shirt with my shoulders just a little bit. So it's working, and at higher volume, man, it's fantastic for pumps. It feels really good. So, and that's something that a lot of people like. They just chase the pump. And if you're just chasing the pump, you know, brakes need to be short, volume needs to be moderate or high. You need to make sure that you're just keeping it intense and you have a lot of time under tension. That's gonna force a lot of blood to the area and stay hydrated. So, you know, both shoulder press. Overall, I did a set of 6, a lot more strict than those 4. And realistically, I should have recorded anyway, but the first 6 went so easy, I was like, I can record it. Clearly, I'm not gonna have that hard of a time with it. Yeah, I did. As soon as I hit record and went over there to do it, I felt the fatigue setting in, right? So I grabbed back onto the bar, I was like, oh no. Those are feeling okay. That second set though, I felt more achy than I felt in my muscle connection. So it didn't feel burny or anything. It just felt achy in my shoulder. So I might need to take a little bit longer of a break on that one. But, you know, biggest thing when you want to build your shoulders and build the health of your shoulders is you want to make sure that you treat them right. You keep all the length tension relationships within them nice and even front to back and all around. So do your mobility work, do your stretching, do those little stability exercises. Make sure that you're building the endurance and make sure that you're well-rounded, you know. Get the lateral, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead. Like that's dead. Oh, yeah, they're dead already. I'm only on my second set, I have 2 more. Yeah, so when you're going out to the side, you want to make sure that you build that up. You don't want to be the guy who makes the jokes. It's like how to pick out the weight for a lateral raise and grabs like a 2-pound dumbbell and you're like, hey! Like if you need to do 2 pounds, do 2 pounds. But in the joking scenario where it feels like you're that weak doing that, train them more. Train them twice a week. Keep the volume low. Get the frequency in. Do 2 sets one day, wait 3 days, do 2 sets. Just treat yourself a little bit, you know? I don't know how long the pump's gonna stay, so like, oh. Yeah, it's really filling up. You know, we're gonna view this exercise from Sam Sulek, where he usually sits on a bench, but he's leaned over like this, which I think it's more. And then he just works on that top range of motion. Oh, you know what? That's a lot harder than I thought it would be. Cut the camera. So with this exercise, he lays in the bench like this. He keeps his arm just straight to his side, and he just works on that top range of motion. I tried it without the bench and tried to balance myself and make sure I was at the right angle. It didn't work, so I'm going to try it on here. Also, 25 pounds doing that. It's really difficult. So that's how he does it. He keeps it on the side. And I was thinking about just walking the full range of motion and let it hang and then bring it back up. That'd be a good superset. Oh, yeah, so I think Sam's on to something with this. And it's definitely working a different range of motion. The body's not adapted to it. So that's how you can, force it to adapt. And it's all about mixing up, like setting a new PR. A lot of professional powerlifters will avoid the main movement until it's time to do the main movement. They'll do accessory exercises and variation exercises until it's the day of competition, and then they'll start training bench specifically, like in the last 4 weeks. Like if they'll do pin press, floor press, and all that other stuff. So this is actually really smart. Time to do some halos like we did last week. We're gonna go around 5 times and then go the other way. That's one set. Now halos are, again, they're such a fantastic exercise for shoulder health. I'm still refining and making sure that I'm doing them right because it is still very new to me to do. I've known about them, but it wasn't until recently that I started doing them. So, I wouldn't base it off my form, but the exercise itself is absolutely fantastic and you should try it. Just make sure you start off with a lighter weight, go through the range of motion. As long as your shoulders are okay, if you have issues with the shoulders, you should probably see a professional about that before you start doing them. So, but it is a fantastic exercise. I absolutely love it. I'm glad that I'm able to add it into it. I'm gonna do a couple more sets of this, and then we gotta hit legs for at least one good exercise. And I think I have just the exercise in mind that would make it good to be the only one for the day for legs. You know what I'm saying? Comment down below if you know what it is. No cheating, don't skip ahead. What's the exercise? All right, time for everybody's favorite little exercise, the Bulgarian split squat. So I don't know if you knew this. If you haven't seen it by now, there's a great way. Is if you sit on the edge of your seat and you stick your feet right out, you have the perfect, if you can balance, you have the perfect setup to make sure that you put all your weight on that front leg, setting up for the Bulgarian split squat. So give that a try. Give it a try. This is the guess for the exercise that I'm gonna do at the end for an extra leg exercise for the week. So I'm gonna do Bulgarian split squats now. Give that setup a try. All right, everybody, so thank you for joining me for another video. Today was shoulders and how to make 3D shoulders or boulder shoulders and how to build them up and how to keep them nice and healthy and happy. So we did a whole bunch of different exercises today. We did 5 in total. We did 2 core exercises and a whole bunch of recovery, rehabilitation, mobility work, stability work, exercises right before we got started with everything, before you joined me. So with all of that, it was a really good, productive day. Everything felt really good. The hardest part and the worst part was in the second set of the lateral raises, just feeling the soreness set in and not that achy feeling and not so much just the burn or the pump or the fatigue. It was just achiness. I was able to go through the other sets and it felt just fine. So no need to worry about that. And then the second part of my top set for a shoulder press with a barbell, because I only got 4 cheater reps than the strict 6 that I did on the set. Well, part 1 of the set prior to starting to record again. So not happy about that, but overall it was a really good day, really good routine. Everything felt good. The pump is subsiding because it's mostly going to my legs after those Bulgarian split squats. I think I did 4 sets. Low rep, just focusing on tension, range of motion. The first one that I recorded, not the best. I really had to step in. I think that's why I did 3 more after, was because I know that they weren't where they needed to be and I wasn't focusing as much on the form and the mind muscle connection to make sure that I was driving through the quads, and I was mostly pushing through the front leg and keeping my body weight positioned over my front leg and not assisting myself with my little kickstand on the bench. But needless to say, it was really good. It was a great day. Thank you for joining me. As always, subscribe, like, ring the notification bell. Please share the video. I want to make sure that I can reach more people. I'm trying to get this out there. I want to do this as much as I can for all of you. Give a little bit of information and help educate just a little bit and maybe help someone out that needs it. So if you could, please just help me out a little bit. Share those videos. Please. Share them with people. Help me get them out there just a little bit. But thank you again for joining me for another video. As always, stay strong, stay smiling. I will see you next time in a video that most likely will be, I don't know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what the next video is.